what's up guys, and today doing the first of hopefully many long form reviews on the channel. Today we are taking a look at the Marvel Legends Spider-Man Brand New Day, Savage, Rampant Aging, whatever you want to call him, it's Hulk. Topic of much contention in the Marvel Legends collecting community. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at it. Alright, so taking a look at this Hulk figure, do some height measurements here. He is just shy of 9 inches tall. You can kind of see here. Yeah. About 8 3/4. He's a big dude. Comes in a big box. He was $39.99 at Target. Online, he's I think $46.99. So he's up there in the price. I guess 4 centimeters, if you guys want that too. He is just a little over 22. So yeah, kind of getting into his aesthetic here. Can see this is his face. Interesting choice. We'll just pop it off his. That's another thing we're going to talk about in the articulation thing. His face, both of them, really bad. I mean, look at that hairline. Oof. I get that he's like an old guy and whatever now, but good Lord. Let me grab the box. You can see this is what they put on the box. That's not too bad. Now, if we look at those side by side, that's not the same thing. No, that's a big ass forehead. But that being said, yeah, bad head sculpts, both of them. This one out of the two is probably the better one. The expression's nice. If we just ignore that, that's pretty good. But then we take that into account. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Moving down. Again, like I said, he's a big dude. He's got some shoulders. Let me just adjust the camera. There we go. He's got some decent shoulders. His muscles here look pretty good. He's got shading throughout a little bit. You can definitely see it more on that lower torso piece. There's some in the arms. There's some in the pants. It's cool to see that they're still doing minimal effort with these guys. I mean, that looks pretty good. You can kind of see it here. So like his side profile looks really good. If you turn this away, that looks really good. Upper torso piece is not bad. Lower torso piece is really nice. And then for his pants, again, there's shading. Really nice to see that there's a little bit of shading. Not often we see that on Marvel Legends figures. But it's only on the front. You can see on the back there is nothing in terms of shading. The knees are shiny on the back. That's going to be another thing that's talked about in the articulation. So like the joints themselves are a little shiny. It's not the best look. And then his feet are done really well for some reason. Really like that. They might be a little big, but it's a Hulk figure, so you're gonna get big feet on a Hulk. So suppose for aesthetic, just kind of zoom back out and keep readjusting the camera as we go. We'll go 7 out of 10. The shading is really nice. I enjoy some things about that. I think it could have been heavier on the pants. Maybe the pants could be a little bit more torn up. I like the kind of like the calves here and the shins. Like they did a really nice job with that. So yeah, let's take a look at the accessories. Okay, so for accessories, we have this guy here, this little piece of plastic. Really, really well done. This is a new mold compared to the ones they use for like the comic figures. This is my first Hulk figure ever, so I don't have any experience with those guys, but really, really nicely done. There's some shading on this. Really, really nice. Obviously nothing on the back because Hasbro's a bunch of cheap asses, but got some webs here. I believe this one's supposed to go on his face or his hand or something. No, it's definitely not meant for his face, so I would have to imagine, yeah, it's maybe for this guy here or something. I'm not really sure. I don't think they did a great job with these. But they're in the box and they cost like 2 cents to make. So that rolls off the table. So as I was saying, we've got a pair of fist hands. Never see this with Marvel Legends anymore, so this is nice. I don't like how short the pegs are for these. They did the same thing with the Gamerverse Juggernaut from Marvel vs. Capcom. The pegs are too short. The hands fall off relatively easy. I think if the pegs were a little bit longer, that would be really, really cool, but, you know, Hasbro. And we've got a pair of clenching hands kind of thing. They're similar mold, but they're not quite the same hand. I would prefer that they were matching, but I guess it's not the biggest deal in the world. I'm glad that they included something. The green looks really good on kind of all of it. So, yeah. And then head sculpts. We've got this one that comes on in the box. Again, we've already looked at this one. That forehead, though. Then this head, I guess looks pretty good, too. Again, keep dropping stuff. If you take into account no forehead, then really nice expression, but, you know, forehead. So, yeah, if they had, you know, increased the hairline so that it goes, you know, where it's supposed to, instead of giving him an egghead and making him look like a doofus, then I think it would look really nice. So that's all it comes with for a $40, $45, depending on the person, where you're getting it, figure. It could be better. I would have liked another set of hands, and maybe a good head sculpt would have been really nice. Alright, so now it is time for the articulation. This is where this figure really... But taking a look, we have a disc hinge, as you guys have already seen. Very disappointing. This is about 20 years too old. We need ball pegs. At this point, they did the same thing, unfortunately, with another, like, pretty decent release in the Astonishing X-Men Colossus. Of course, disc hinge, because Hasbro likes to do that kind of thing. But yeah, disc hinge, you can move his head that far down, not good. And that far up, not bad. There's no pivot with that at all, so you can't really do a ton of great poses with that. No butterfly joints on this guy, which is fine. Shoulders rotate around, they go that far up. Get a bicep cut, and it is a floating piece, so you can rotate the bicep on its own, and you can rotate the elbow. We've got a single joint in the elbow. It is ratcheted, as you can hear. And then we've got a swivel and a hinge for the hands. They are all on that type. I think a vertical hinge would be really nice for fist hands, because then you can do, like, not a great example, but you can do like that pose better with vertical hinges on the hands. With the torso, just using the top piece goes back pretty far-ish. It's not horrible. Going forward, practically nothing. And then it leans to the side really well. And then you get rotation, bottom piece. There's nothing going forward, nothing really going back, and then side. So you're getting bare minimum going forward. Decent going back on that top joint, and then really, really well going to the side. So very disappointing. Wonder if you can pop them apart. I don't want to try. I don't want to break the figure. For the hips, the legs, he goes out pretty far. I'll take it, especially for a big dude. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention there's rotation here as well. Thigh cut, ugly thigh cut. They could have rounded that out, but it's Hasbro. Going forward, he gets decent enough, but it kind of goes out to the side a little bit, so you rotate it forward and you get that far. Decent far back. And then for the knees, oh, that's bad. Oh, and it's tight too. Oh, yikes. That is an ugly knee joint if I've ever seen it. That is not how you do it. This part is better, but it's still not good. This is like on the levels of like the McFarlane Peacemaker figures. I've got one right here for like the elbows. The elbows on this guy, nice. As I was saying, the elbows on Peacemaker are just the worst you could ever find. It's pretty bad. I mean, how did this get approved? That's really bad. Yeah, that's not how you do that. For the ankles, you get that far back and actually pretty far forward, and then you get decent enough. I'll take it. Decent, a little steep, but decent on the ankles. Would have liked either a ball hinge or either that better ankle or like a shin cut, but yeah, bare minimum with this guy. All right, so that backdrop keeps falling, so we're just gonna move on. Final thoughts on this guy. It's all right. If you don't have a movie Hulk, grab it. It's not terrible, but the torso being on a double ball peg, that's not good. Really, really sad. But if you have a Dremel like I do, then you can fix that pretty easily. I plan to do a video on that soon, fixing this guy up. I bought it kind of knowing that it was going to be trash, but seeing it in person, it's trash. But yeah, going back is decent. Going forward, nothing. So yeah, final thoughts. I'll give Mr. Rampant Aging Hulk, I want to say 6.5, but the sculpt is pretty decent overall. Like, if this was like a statue, I would go like an 8, but since it's got really crappy articulation points in that hairline, yikes. I'm gonna give it a 6.5. No, I'll give it a 7. It's decent. If you're paying more than $40 for it, don't buy it. But for it being $40, it's doable, especially if you don't already have one. If you have like one of like the Build-A-Figures or something, maybe keep that one just to compare it